What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Character Profiles. This week we're doing Paradox. So first up, this guy's English name is Paradox, and in Japanese it's pretty much the same. His age is pretty old, but he's in a young body of a machine. So your guess is as good as mine. His anime debut was in Yu-Gi-Oh! 3D Bonds Beyond Time. And here is his wins to loss ratios. As you can see, he hasn't had that many duels. So a quick gist on the character. So Paradox is the main antagonist in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie Bonds Beyond Time. His plan is to travel through time and space to change his destroyed future. He tries to do this by killing the creator of dueling, Maximilian Pegasus. However, before he can achieve this goal, he must first duel Yugi Moto, Jaden Yuki and Yusei Fudo to get to him. He was once one of mankind's last 4 survivors in an apocalyptic future, along with Zone, Aporia and Antinomi. Unlike his fellow survivors, not much of his backstory prior to meeting the other survivors is shown. His name is derived from the concept of a paradox in the theory of time. According to it, a paradox is created if the past is altered, which then changes the future entirely. This references his mission of changing history by destroying the game of duel monsters to prevent his own terrible future from happening, which would have caused catastrophic and drastic changes to the future had he succeeded. He's the only one of Zone's comrades to not guard a planetary particle, as he was defeated before that time. However, Sherry LeBlanc was the one to replace him as the third guard of the planetary particle. So Paradox is first seen wearing a black and white mask to hide his identity. Paradox has yellowy gold eyes with blonde hair with blue highlights around the front. He has a red tattoo-like mark on his face, which I can only assume is his criminal mark. He wears a vest and sleeved gloves, as well as a kind of cape thing which is attached by these shoulder pauldrons. In the very distant future, he looks very similar to his youngest self, except obviously with more wrinkles. So Paradox possesses an awesome unnamed duel runner, which I'm going to name right here, why not? How about the Quantum Leap Wheel? Yeah. If you guys think you can do better, then why not give Paradox's duel runner a name in the comment section below, but other than that, Quantum Leap Wheel it is. So the Quantum Leap Wheel bears similarities to the one used by Aporia. The duel runner is also shown to travel through time and change between different modes. Although not explicit in the movie, Paradox is actually an android, much like Aporia and Antinomi. He is capable of creating corrupted versions of the signature cards of other Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters in the franchise. He's also capable of merging with his ace monster, Malefic Truth Dragon. Paradox has also demonstrated the ability to steal duel monsters right out of their cards, such as with Stardust Dragon during his turbo duel with Yusei, using a blank card and the ability to bring them to life, which he displayed with Cyber End Dragon, Rainbow Dragon and Stardust during his attack in Venice. So a bit of backstory on the character. Paradox is one of the survivors of the Mechlord Emperor genocide along with Zone and Antinomi, who eventually discover a 4th survivor, Aporia. Together the 4 of them had conducted many experiments in order to prevent the genocide. However, he and his friends eventually died from natural causes and were placed in capsules, leaving Zone the only survivor. A robotic copy of Paradox's younger self was made by Zone and was sent back in time in an attempt to rewrite history and create a better future by eliminating the creator of duel monsters, Maximilian Pegasus. The logic behind this was that if the popularity of duel monsters fell, it would cause a domino effect on the timeline, resulting in none of the duel academies ever being founded to inspire the following generations to pursue even greater achievements, such as New Domino City, Turbo Duels, and Enter D. Paradox was fully aware of the consequences, but believed it was necessary, as many great evils that threaten the world, Marik, the Great Leviathan, Zork, the Shadow Riders, the Light of Destruction, Night Shroud, and the Dark Signers, they all used duel monsters in their attempt to destroy it. However, he overlooked the fact that if duel monsters didn't exist, the evil beings would most likely have found a different way to try and accomplish their plans. At least with duel monsters, the chance to fight back was fair. Paradox travelled back to New Domino City 3 to Yusei Fudo's time. When Yusei summoned Stardust Dragon, Paradox absorbed it into a blank card. He showed Yusei the Corrupt card when confronted before vanishing through time again. He travelled further back in time to Venice during Jade and Yuki's time. Causing destruction, Paradox attacked Jaden with Cyber End Dragon and Rainbow Dragon. When he summoned Stardust, Yusei, who had also travelled back in time with the help of the Crimson Dragon, arrived and saved Jaden. Confused how Yusei followed him back into the past, Paradox proceeded to visit an event where Pegasus was giving cards to young children, in Yugimoto's time, where he used Cyber End Dragon, Rainbow Dragon and Stardust Dragon to all attack the area. Obsessed with the utter destruction of the plague that destroyed his home time, Paradox cared little for the other people in the area, killing them along with Pegasus and Yugi's grandpa. Yusei and Jaden arrived and recruited Yugi, who was the lone survivor of Paradox's attack, to fight Paradox. They travelled back in time to before Pegasus was attacked. He faced them in a 3-on-1 duel. Paradox used Malefic World and his corrupt Malefic counterparts of existing monsters. Yusei, Jaden and Yugi managed to retrieve Stardust from him, and by combining it with their cards, they destroyed Paradox's Malefic Truth Dragon and won the duel, which unfortunately destroyed Paradox in the process. So, Paradox plays a Malefic deck made up of an archetype of Dark Attribute Dragon type monsters, with the exception of Malefic Cyber End Dragon and Malefic Parallel Gear, both of which are the machine types. All these monsters are corrupt versions of the trump cards of other Yu-Gi-Oh characters which he travelled through time to steal. Paradox uses the field spell Malefic World, which gives him the option of skipping his draw phase each turn and instead adding a Malefic monster to his hand from his deck. Fun fact, I actually used to run a Malefic deck. Well, it wasn't a Malefic specific deck, but it had 3 copies of Cyber End Malefic Dragon, 3 Gear Towns back when you could set Gear Town over a Gear Town, it'd get destroyed by itself, and then you'd special summon a Galvatron Dragon, and I usually had like 2 or 3 Malefic Stardust Dragons in my deck. Good times, because you could use Skill Drain as well and just summon it straight out onto the field. But I do digress. With that, guys, that's another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Character Profiles done. Don't forget to leave a like, favourite, and subscribe. Is Paradox one of your favourite villains? If not, tell me why. But other than that, thanks a lot for watching, and catch you later.